Round 2 of the 2025 MotoGP World Championship brings us back to Terminus de Rio Hondo for the Argentine Grand Prix. This circuit is a tricky one, and with mixed weather conditions, we are in for an interesting weekend of action. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box. Green light, and away we go for the first free practice session here in Argentina. 45 minutes ahead of us, a chance for the riders to head out there onto the circuit and just get familiarised once again. We haven't been here since 2023. It doesn't sound that long, but in motorcycle and racing terms, it is a long time. New pit and paddock complex after the previous one burnt down as well. Political issues prevented us racing last year, but we are back and ready to go, and it's mixed conditions. Track temperature is at 21 degrees Celsius, air temperature 18, cloudy, and a damp track. Alongside me in the commentary box for the first time this year is Nathan Richards. Hello, Richie. MotoGP time, you always like hopping in for a couple of these throughout the year. Did you manage to watch Thailand, and what are your thoughts coming in to this weekend?
I didn't manage to watch the race, but I did watch the highlights after, and of course I was actually quite happy to see Marc Marquez win. I don't know why, I've always liked him as a rider. Even when I didn't watch MotoGP, I just heard about his name over Twitter and in Instagram, and definitely a driver, a rider. I'm gonna need to get used to that.
Rider. Megan does the same thing.
Yeah, it's hard to get used to. But of course it was Alex Marquez who got second place as well, so both of those two up the top indeed. And this is also a track that is brand new to me as well. Haven't ever seen any vehicles on this circuit, so I'm excited to see how it goes, because I've only ever heard good things about this track, never anything bad, and not just in MotoGP, in other series that have run here in the past.
It's kind of like a weirdly shaped imagine a pig laying down, but it's sort of in a half curve. It's a weird one. Or like a very misshapen machine gun. It's a very fast track. Turn 1, we're looking now with Pedro Costa and Red Bull KTM. A long, sweeping right-hander, which immediately leads into a quick left as well with a flip back on the bike. And then there's a long straight on the run down to turn 3 here that you really pick up so much speed. It's unbelievable. Very similar to first sector to what we had last time out in Buriram, Thailand. There's Pecco Bagnaia over the line as well. Marc Marquez then. We were worried it would happen, and it's already happened. He has literally thrown it down the line, and he has said to everybody, I have never left. The bike was wrong. I'm now at one with this Ducati. Is he going to be the world champion again?
I mean, you know, he's won it multiple times. He knows what he's doing when it comes to, you know, winning a championship here in MotoGP. And I think certainly he's got the chance to do so. I think, obviously, Pecco Bagnaia is not going to be that far behind. But I think Pecco suffers a lot with inconsistency, doesn't he? And, you know, making those mistakes which, you know, in this sport, you fall off the bike, that's it done. There's no, you know, rejoining and going again pretty much. You're going to be all the way down at the bottom if you can at least get back onto track and keep going. So I think that's Pecco's issue. He doesn't keep it on track all of the time. Whereas Marquez, when he's got a bike that works, he's fine, and he can produce some brilliant pace, brilliant laps, and also some nice racecraft as well when he's battling other bikers. But I think, of course, it's, you know, Rain 1, it's early to say, oh, he can be champion, but I think looking at the drivers that are in it, there's no way that he's not at least going to be in the fight, in my opinion.
I'm with you on that as well. It looks to be an interesting couple of weekends. Let's have a look actually at our timing towers. There's a few issues that we're trying to correct. It looks like there's yeah, something's moved around on the championship standings. So give us 1 minute and we will adjust those for you. So it is A-OK. The gap is massive compared to what we have beforehand. So we'll shrink that down. Yeah, something's gone wrong there. I have literally no idea what's happened to our timing monitor. Well, that's
Pedro Acosta.
Running wide at turn 1, it looks like, yeah. So, we've got duplicates. Well, that's annoying.
Oh. Right,
I'll just pop his on battle screen with a giant Richie for some reason. Who's been messing around with my systems? I've literally just...
Hello, guys.
I've never seen this ever happen before. Our systems have gone completely nuts. Right, give me a minute to fix all this. Honestly, I have never witnessed this happen before. the timing tower is having a mutiny. Right, so that's there. That's fine. For some reason, I've got 2 of these.
Oh.
Yeah, they've all duplicated themselves. Okay.
Oh, dear me, Josh.
Oh, this is annoying me. We've got multiple duplicates out here. So what was that one? I don't even know what that is. Well, duplicates are usually very much allowed, but because it helps us do it. But for some reason, it's all gone a bit nuts here today. There we go, Fabio Di Gianantonio. Give us 1 minute, folks. So what's this one here? Is that the sector times? I have no idea because it's not telling me.
See, I'm running through my timings through Moto Timing, and I've got to say they are rather delayed.
Yeah, we're having a few issues. I
not
think
fun.
there's something that's changed and we don't know what it is. So we're going to take away it all and find out. Should we do it one by one, people? I think that's the safest way to find it, one by one, as to what on earth is going wrong with our systems today. Right, what's this one? This is... Oh, the graphic I actually wanted is here first off. Right, okay. I have never seen that happen before. Scale to window, there we go. Apologies for that, everybody. Issues upon issues. Right, there we go. Fastest sector times, best lap time, all done. Right, back with you, Richie. As Marc Marquez heads out to the circuit. Can he win this weekend? I know your favourite.
I mean, I'd like to say yes, but you never know going into it. I mean, like I said before, I'm rather new to MotoGP. I do tune into it every now and then, but I'm not invested as much as I am into all the motorsports. So I'm not really sure, who we're going to look at as well to kind of be challenging Marc Marquez. But yeah, I think he's, got some good pace. He's got a lot of confidence. He's, voiced his opinions on that confidence as well. So he's certainly in a very nice position. I think he can definitely have the chance of winning this weekend. But of course, there's many different riders to kind of look at, isn't there? You never really know MotoGP. There's so many drivers that can jump themselves up into podium positions out of nowhere.
It really is. It's a shocking amount that can actually do that time and time again. I have absolutely no idea what is this timing monitor in my life. I have never seen this happen before. It's almost like the system just doesn't want to work. Oh well, I fixed it anyway. Apologies, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Let's just do a window production C. Sector 1, time, rear, front lights. Yes, lovely. So only 18 out there so far have set lap times. Fermin Aldeguer is the last one here in Argentina. This is what free practice is for, basically, testing everything. And testing for us as well, as it comes across. We must also bring up Jorge Martin, not here this weekend after his accident in Sepang, and then breaking it at home while training. So he's missed all of pre-season testing, all of the opening race in Thailand, and now he's going to miss Argentina, and it's also been announced he's missing the America's Grand Prix. Brand new team for him, reigning world champion, and he's missing so much time, Richie.
Yep. Testing in the first 3 Grand Prix, at least, hopefully. Not going to be missing any more after that, but yeah, definitely a shame for Jorge Martin, of course, a very, very good rider, of course. Off to, was it Aprilia he joined?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah, so, a big change, wasn't it, as well? And, some people saying he's at the right change to make. Well, unfortunately, we're 2 rounds in and we can't see because he's not here, of course, with injury. So hopefully he'll be back ready for round number 4 and we can see him back on track on his Aprilia bike, because we do see there Zarco going quickest to 40.405, and definitely looking to put down some brilliant lap times at the start of the session as fastest here by I think nearly a second to Vinales in second.
Yes, he is, and that's a much better lap time from Zarco. Honda looking a bit more competitive here at Terminus. We'll see if that will hold up later on. Castrol Honda LCR, obviously, for Johan Zarco, not the main Honda HRC Castrol liveried bikes as well that's out there. Just a reminder, as Vinales brings that gap down to 0.3 of a second after the opening lap time, so still a better run go far. Right, Sean's here. Says Jorge Martin out for Cota. Last time Mark competed the whole race weekend here in Argentina is 2019, which is mental. At this point, we just don't have a timetable for his return. Of course, yeah, that's insane coming through. Hello, Plug says hello. Hello, everyone. And it's hello as well with some loading graphics from Canal as well. I hope I pronounced your name right. Well, we've got it working. We've put some pennies in the meter. And we've got our timing screen working again.
We certainly have, as I think it was Quartararo there having a bit of an improvement on his lap, and Zarco was going a tenth quicker in the first 2 sectors, but then in sector 3 has lost nearly a second there, so he must have run into possibly a little bit of traffic of one of the bikes ahead, as we also see bsky as well, 5 tenths down on the best time, so looking to find a bit of an improvement on his previous lap, as that will be jumping up into P10. I'm going to have to learn the names. Marquez, isn't it? Yes, Alex Marquez. There we are. Oh, dear me.
Simon Patterson has just tweeted some interesting news about MotoGP, which I'm finding quite entertaining. Going unsaid about Monday's one-year countdown event to the postponed Brazilian Grand Prix is that it very much suggests that we won't have a 2026 Argentine Grand Prix. The contract with Terminus ends on Sunday with no news of a renewal. He then goes on to say, a lot of the problems of going to Terminus would be alleviated if we were to say back-to-back with the Brazilian Grand Prix instead. It looks like we're scrapping one South American race for another while still having 4 in Spain. I'm with you on that. So the Brazilian Grand Prix, of course, returning next year. And it looks like we're going to get rid of Argentina. But the problem is, it takes 39 hours to get from the UK or Ireland to get to Terminus. It's a ridiculous runaround. It's quicker to get from the UK to Australia than it is to get from the UK to Argentina. And one is on the other side of the world.
Yes, interesting, isn't it? But there we go. I mean, it's a nice circuit, though, isn't it, this? So it will be a shame to kind of see it go for a year or two. But, yeah, it's... wasn't here last year, was it? What was the reasons behind that? Because I remember it not being featured, but I can't remember why.
Last year was very much political reasons they had to cancel it. The incoming government didn't like it, so they got rid of it for a year.
Oh.
Political instability, they cited it as. And then, of course, we didn't come back also because the pit lane burned down.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they've rebuilt the pit lane and relayed it. Wonderful uphill. What are you making of this track then, as well, for the first time you've seen it actually on camera?
It's it reminds me a little bit of Qatar, if you get what I mean.
I do. It's very similar.
I do like it. I do like this circuit a lot. I mean, I don't know if I'd put Formula 1 cars around here because it doesn't look like it's built for that. But these bikes, you know, they work magnificently around here. So certainly a very nice track to especially to see for my first time, as that was bsky there, nearly hitting the back of the bike ahead of him. And I am sorry, guys, if I do get any names wrong or I can't pronounce certain names, because I do recognise quite a few, but some of them still very brand new to me. But I promise I'll get there eventually.
It's fine, Richie. You should try a race at some point as well. There's one of the VR46 get out of the way. Can't tell which track house that bike is in front of us. We don't have a rider tracker, so I'm trying to follow where bsky is in Sector 2 and match it on the tower. I believe, looking at it, it will be Enea Bastianini, and it is Enea Bastianini on the track house as well coming through. So both... Oh, and Ralph Fernandez has crashed. Turn 1. Now that's the other track house on the 25 bike, but he's immediately getting it out of the gravel. That looks like he's just dropped the front on entry there. Yeah. Let's have a look.
See what happens here then. Into turn 1, and we just go straight on, doesn't he? Just go straight on and just couldn't get it stopped.
I wouldn't call that a crash. Oh, we did go down. Okay, yeah. Now he's crashed. I was going to say he was sort of trailing in a lot. This track just reminds me of the controversy between Mark and Rossi in 2018. Very true. When Mark and Rossi came together and they had that unforgettable accident that kicked off the whole... Well, it sort of restarted their rivalry, of course. After 2015, where Rossi kicks Mark off the bike in Sepang.
Kicked him off?
Physically kicked him off, yeah. Stuck his leg out and kicked him off the bike. Rossi was so... I mean, here you go.
2018, wasn't that the year that Marquez won the championship?
Yes, yeah. Marquez went on a bit of a winning spree. 2018 was also the year where we had a downpour just before the race started, So everyone went out on the track on wet tyres, bar pole sitter Jack Miller, who stuck to his guns and stuck on slicks. The start was aborted because everyone realised that it needs to be a dry bike. So Jack Miller came to the grid after the warm lap. Everybody else dived into the pit lane, and there was 23 bikes in the pit lane waiting to start the race. And race control went, delayed the start. But then questions arose saying that, well, you can't just put them all back on the grid again because Jack Miller, he made the right advantage.
Not fair, is it?
Yeah. So what they did was they made an entirely new grid at the back of the grid. And they actually had to get the chalk out to make new grid hatchings.
Oh my, that is interesting. I mean, MotoGP just throws everything at us, doesn't it?
Well, what they did was they gave Jack Miller the length of the pit lane. So what they did was they gave him the run down to turn 1. So everyone started on the grid because it wouldn't be safe to keep it on the pit lane. So what they did was they put everybody at the back of the grid, and there was the exact distance that was the exit of the pit lane down to turn 1 between them. So they had to get the chalk out and mark out new grid hatchings. And we had that weirdest start. Jack Miller just sat in the pole position, looking back at the entire grid behind him. Lights go out, he leads into turn 1, everyone else is just having Barbies behind, and he didn't even win the race. Carl Crutchlow came through to win the race in an epic battle. And he came up to the screen, the camera afterwards, and said, "Don't doubt me," in big letters. It was fantastic. In fact, I think I might have the ending of that call on my iPad.
Oh,
that'd be nice.
Sounds like a very entertaining race. As that was Bsky there going quickest by 22 thousandths of a second to Johan Zarco in second place, and here we have Alex Marquez about 10th down through that second sector. Bsky a little bit down as well through the first, as that was Quartararo there, improving up to P7, just over 6/10 off of our top time of 40, not a 41, that's delayed, there we go, a 41.0 there for Quartararo. Very nice lap indeed, as Pedro Acosta also on a nice improvement.
I sadly do not have it. I thought I did. Oh, well, I'll find it somewhere. Alex Marquez goes top, 1:43.59 as you say, on it. Pedro Acosta, middle set's looking okay. Alex backed out of that into turn 1. I'd say.
Indeed. I think Mark Marquez had an improvement as well, and he's gone back into the garages thing.
Yeah, I think he's in pit lane. I need to see those P's on the side of the monitors up here. 2015 as well, still remember that craziness. Hello, Little Owls here. Ginian says, oh yes, when Mark clipped the back of Rossi and Mark crashed out, yeah. That was the start of the rivalry. I was going to say, because it happened twice here to Terminus. I remember saying it. For them all, 27 to go. Alex Marquez top from Marco Bezzecchi, Jan Zarco, Pedro Costa. Then it's Juan Mir, Manfred Vinales, Luca Marini, all coming through. Do you see what I was saying earlier on, by the way, how the MotoGP timing tower is very similar to the Formula 1 now?
Yes, and to be fair, I do like this timing tower. There's a bit, obviously the timing tower itself is a little bit wider, and it's actually transparent, which I like. I really do like that. The F1 timing tower, they've made it a little bit better, but it's still not transparent, and I don't like it at all. I really think it's weird with the weird graphics in behind it, like the grey lines that shift around. I don't like it at all.
No, I don't. I want it transparent.
I prefer it fully transparent like this. This is way better, in my opinion.
It's a bit more classical than MotoGP. It's a bit. I think the top half needs work, like that timer. That needs a bit of.
Oh yes, definitely. I don't like that. But the actual timing board itself with the drivers, the riders, way better than it was before. And I prefer this over F1. If F1 copied that, I wouldn't be too annoyed at all.
Same owners, of course, coming up, although the EU have paused their investigation into Liberty Media for the ownership of both Formula 1, MotoGP and World Superbikes. Of course, World Superbikes have their test in Portimao. You can bring our coverage of that, I believe, next week. We are racing in Portimao. So
obviously, for myself and for if there's many other newer fans to the MotoGP and bikes industry, what's the difference between MotoGP and the World Superbikes?
Right. MotoGP, let's take a look at replay of Mark Marquez breaking to turn 1. MotoGP is effectively prototype bikes. So these are fast, aggressive motorcycles that are completely unique to MotoGP. You can't have these bikes on the road. Whereas World Superbikes, you can literally go into the shop on Monday and buy that exact bike.
Oh, right. So they're actually road bikes they're using World Superbikes.
Yeah, so they are...
Oh, right.
Well, they'll have road tyres, but yeah, basically the same bike in World Superbikes, that's the genetics. They are the same that you can go and have on the road.
I presume there's been riders and that have kind of swapped between the two in the past.
Oh, yeah, massively. And there is a big gap between them as well. That's what people don't really understand that much, is that you're going basically from a spec series, technically, to each bike to a completely different category in MotoGP. So it's like swapping from a GT to LMP program in endurance racing. But Toprak Razgatlioglu is the man to beat on the BMW. But he was beaten in Australia. He did not enjoy it, but he never really enjoys Australia, so that's fine. And he's rumoured to be joining BMW in MotoGP in 2027 when the new rules come in.
So BMW, are they entering the sport then? So they're not here now, are they?
They're not here now, but it is looking likely that they're going to come in.
Ooh,
like, I think we've had that confirmed or not. I can't remember if we have or not. Chat will probably remember. So much goes on in the world, I can't actually 100% remember, but I seem to remember reading a
you
press
do
release.
have 30 series to follow. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, so I can't remember if the press release I read was that BMW were joining World Endurance Championship or they were joining the MotoGP. I can't remember what that was, unless it was a dual announcement.
One of the two.
I'll message Maddie and Simon, see what's happening there.
You mean? But as both Marquezes now sit at the top, Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez, first and second, a 39.991 there by Marc Marquez, that first driver into the 139s. And what sort of lap times are we going to be looking at in qualifying here, Josh?
Ideally a 137, maybe 136, depending on what it's going to be like. I think the track conditions right now are really not representative. It's still damp in places. Track temperatures are very cold for what it would normally be here in Argentina at 22 degrees, so that's playing a factor. Most of the runs at the moment, we've got some soft front, medium rears, but we'll expect soft for qualifying, so that always spices it up a bit. I'd say a 138.2 would probably be round about right, maybe 137.9, somewhere along those lines, but we are way off the pace at the moment, way off.
Yeah. Certainly, as we do have Bagnaia on track as well, and hasn't had the cleanest start here to the FP1, a little bit off the pace at the moment, but of course just trying to get himself into the rhythm and of course get a better lap time on the board, a 41.457, I think puts him there into P14. So certainly a lot of improvement needed to do to catch up to his teammate Marc Marquez at the top, as this is a replay here
Of Bagnaia.
Bagnaia, yes.
He's has got his knee down to that part of the circuit. Usually would have. As you can see here from the Aprilia, you get your knee right down to the floor.
Yeah, a lot higher for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's down at turn 7, looking through. And there's Mark, look. Straight down, right in his tire comparisons. No.
To be fair, he's not also getting his knees right down, is he? So,
I wonder if
difference
that's the track,
between those three.
God, I mean, look, I think Mark's taking it as well. That's got. There's a look at the track map, by the way, just to give you an idea. This has got to be the track conditions. As we're halfway through practice 1. Yeah, that's why we're having these issues. Meg is back with me for practice later on, where we set the order for Q1 and Q2 in their 60-minute session, which is entirely too long and doesn't need to be 60 minutes. And all Friday and Saturday is live on JB Motorsports 2. So if you're watching this on the premiere on JB Motorsports later on, the free practice session, the practice session, free practice 2, qualifying and the TISO sprint, all live on JB Motorsports 2. Race day is live on JB Motorsports with Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP, and we'll also premiere the warm-up session as well. So that is how it is going to work. If you're watching on Twitch, live all weekend long, as Zarko goes fastest.
Yeah, very nice there. 39.794, just bringing that gap up a couple of tenths now to Marquez, but of course with the track still being damp in some areas and nowhere near the sort of lap times that we expect to see. Of course, these lap times will keep going down as the session goes on. 20 minutes to go in this free practice session before, of course, we head into practice later on. I believe that's around 6 PM, isn't it, Josh?
It is, yes, 6 till 7. That's going to be an interesting hour. That's where we'll see the... Oh, and Bagnaia dropping it at turn 1. He tried to get his knee down. That tells me the track's not ready yet. It's not rubbered in.
No. Yep, definitely not. You can't... Yeah, you can see there, just has to jolt it back up. Had a little bit of a look back and like, what's happened there? Yeah, certainly not as it expects conditions. But also, guys, here on JB Motorsports 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're only, I think, 38 subscribers away from hitting 1K on this channel.
For the second channel to hit 1,000, that is just mad. Absolutely mental.
Considering a year ago, I don't think it even existed, did it?
No, it did not.
And of course, the main channel, I think now is on, is it 7.8 or something like that?
The main channel is on 7,646.
Mental.
Extra.
I mean, when I joined, start of 2022,
yeah,
wasn't it on like, I think it was not even on 1,000 when I joined. I think I joined when we hit over at, went over, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like, oh, where did we get monetized? 23, yeah. So yeah, when you joined, it was just starting to get monetized. So just below the 1,000, because it was April that. So and you joined in March, so yeah, it would be just below. Now the second channel's doing that. It's mad.
It is great to see, isn't it? As Zarco again finding another couple of tenths of a second and brings that gap up to half a second to Marc Marquez, at 39.397. So the track is getting better. But I don't think it will be anywhere near optimum conditions even by the time we hit the 0-minute mark. I think we're going to be still kind of working our way through the track as we have these next 18 minutes.
I've just remembered, actually, I don't think JT's put the timing graphics on for World Superbikes in the comms chart.
Oh.
Yeah, I just thought of that, because we're racing this soon, and there's nothing there. There's Zarco closes on, old front soft and I can't even speak. Old front softs and old rear mediums coming through.
Yeah. And question, Josh. I know that you know a lot more about than me about MotoGP, but who's your race winner for this weekend? If you had to kind of look at what's happened so far and the past race at Thailand,
it has to be Marc. Just because of the Ducati dominance, and Marc goes very, very well here. And I hope Bagnaia can challenge him. If not, I think it's going to be a Marquez brother duel this weekend.
Yeah.
That's similar to what we saw in Thailand. Oh, and Vin's running very wide at turn 1, getting out of the way of Johan Zarco as we ride with Bagnaia, 3-time world champion. Been quite critical of him because I've said he's looked into his world championships a lot because he hasn't had a world-class rider around him. And everyone says, well, why do you say that? Because he's been... Well, last year, he was passing Jorge Martin. Both of them didn't want to win it. The same was going on a few years before. And if Marc Marquez was there, if Fabio Quartararo was there, they would have thrown themselves into the ring. We haven't had a superstar battling them. And I said last year, several times, as soon as Marc is on that factory bike, he's going to destroy the field. It's happening. Absolutely happening.
I mean, everybody said it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everybody said it. You know, that bike he was on was a year older. You know, it was not anywhere near what Bagnaia had. He's on it now, and he's already got adjusted to it like that. And, you know, he's already, was it pole, sprint win, and race win for Marquez last time out in Thailand?
Yeah, did the double pole, sprint, and Grand Prix.
Which is, you know, for obviously, yes, we know that the bikes aren't the most different in the world, but he's had to get adjusted to a brand new team and to do the triple there just like that. It's insane, isn't it? It's brilliant, and it just shows that, you know, he's made to be world champion. Of course, he's won it a couple of times before. He's going to be looking to try and do it again, but he's got that experience. He's one of the older drivers on the track, and that helps him, doesn't it, compared to some of the younger upcoming talents that are coming in. And even Bagnaia, compared to some riders, is also quite young.
Yeah, I feel quite old when you say Marc Marquez is one of the older riders now, but it is the stark reality. He was racing in 2013. He's raced against Pedrosa, Lorenzo, Rossi, and beaten them in world championships. And most notably, Pedrosa and Lorenzo, in his rookie year, he was world champion. He's a 6-time MotoGP world champion, 8-time motorcycle world champion, because unlike in Formula 2 and Formula 3, the junior series here, which aren't really junior series because Moto 2 and Moto 3 are world championships officially. So they are a world championship event. and Mark won the 125cc and won Moto 2. So he is a 8-time world champion. He's going for 9 world championships this year.
Brilliant, isn't it? Insane. And if you could do that, there's Rossi. How many? Did he win 9? Didn't
9,
he, Rossi?
yeah, 7 MotoGP, 2 juniors, 1 Moto 3, or 1 125cc, 1 250cc, and then he won the 7 500cc championships back then, and I think he won 1,000 as well.
Give it this season and next season, Marc Marquez could have broken the record, because it is a record, isn't it, for Rossi? 9.
I think Agostini's got, is it 10 or 11? I can't remember how many he's got across the categories.
I don't have a clue. Let's have a look on here.
I think it's 11 for Agostini. Yeah, most championships is 8. So Agostini's won 8 world titles in the Premier class. That's the record, but I think he's won a total overall of...
Agostini?
Yeah, 8.
15.
Yeah, 15 world titles, 8 500cc / MotoGP world titles, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and then a gap, and then one again in 75. Rossi's got 7, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. And Marc Marquez on 6, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Mick Doohan, who is father to Jack Doohan, he's got 5, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98 in that little runaround. And then you've got the Brits of... got Jeff Duke in there with 4 in the early 50s. John Surtees, the only man to win on 2 and 4 wheels. Mike Halewood's got 4. And then the American, of course, Eddie Lawson, he's got 4. Kenny Robertson, Wayne Rainey, the other Americans got 3. Hoy Lorenzo on 3 as well. Phil Reed and Barry Sheen on 2. Freddie Spencer, who got kicked out, thankfully, of the control.
Did he?
Yeah, well, nobody liked Freddie as the... crew chief, so they, the steward, the chief steward, so they kicked him out last year. New headmaster now in board as well, Simon Crafar. Bagnaia's got 2, but he's 3-time world champion because he's won a junior formula as well in Moto 2. Martin's got 1 last year as well. But yeah, in terms of everything, Honda are the most successful here.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
Oh dear me, what a session it's been. Nothing, pretty much, has it? Because,
Standard
with the track not being at its best, you can't really take anything from it, can you, to be fair? You've got to just kind of, I suppose, keep that guesswork going.
One thing I'll take is that this, the Castrol Honda LCR, which is practically a main Honda bike, just put into the junior team, or the secondary team as it is, for Honda. That looks competitive again with Zarco, but we saw glimpses of that in Thailand and nothing really emerged. He was hovering around there. I'm keeping my eye on Ayagura, who's on the track house Aprilia. Did really well in Thailand. Let's see what he can do here. But other than that, it's pretty much standard. The gap it's not really representative this session as we look at Jack Miller on the Prima Pramac Yamaha into turn 1. Left, of course, Ducati to go to Yamaha and a factory bike, as Quartararo on the main Yamaha team is in 12th.
Indeed. And yeah, it's not been the best couple of years, has it, for Quartararo? I'm sure the first season I kind of had a little bit of a glimpse at MotoGP. He was a champion. Was it 2021?
21 he won it, yeah.
Yeah, and then ever since then it's not really gone too well for him, has it?
Well,
not been...
Yeah, arguably he should have had it in 2020 as well, but he started the year really strong, dominating when we came back from COVID. Didn't have Marc Marquez around, admittedly, but the bike on the Honda was terrible anyway. That's caused the accident. So Quartararo dominated on that Yamaha. And then midway through the season, just dropped off pace completely and allowed Juan Mir, who had never won a race, but was Mr. Consistent that year, who had seconds and thirds nearly every weekend, to win the championship. And I think I'm right in saying that he won his first race, and then the next week he won the World Championship.
Oh my!
Yeah, he won the. he won. We went back to back at Valencia. He won the European Grand Prix, as it was called, and then 7 days later he won the World Championship.
Insane. So was that kind of like his first main year as well, being at the top? Or?
Quartararo, yeah, that was sort of. He's coming up.
Oh, Mir.
Oh, Mir. Oh, yeah. Suzuki had sort of slowly grown up, and Mia was really great that year. And then 2021 as well, they were strong, but then they left, of course. Suzuki left the MotoGP program, won the championships, and that was that. All done. We now look at Juan Mir, world champion, now riding with Honda. And slowly, he's shaking his head through turn 1 there as well. I don't know if he was looking at Brad Binder ahead, but it's one thing I love about motorcycle racing. The riders, you can just see everything. And compared to Formula 1, here you can clearly tell what's going on.
How many champions are there on the grid there?
Oh, let me get my stat sheet up. I haven't printed it out yet because it doesn't become available until after this, during this first session. Well, Zarco's a world champion. I think we've got a lot of world champions actually. Oh, actually, I can tell you. Hang on. I've still got my stat sheets here. So, Zarco, Moto2 world champion, 15 and 16. Vinales, Moto3 champion, 2013. Quartararo, MotoGP world champion, 21. Morbidelli, Moto2 champion, 2017. Enea Bastianini, Moto2 champion, 2020. Brad Binder, Moto3 champion in 2016. Juan Mir, MotoGP champion in 2020 and Moto3 champion 2017. Pedro Costa, Moto2 champion 23, Moto3 champion 21. Pecco Bagnaia, MotoGP champion 22-23 and Moto2 champion 2018. Alex Marquez, Moto2 champion in 19, Moto3 champion in 14. Ayagura, Moto2 champion last year, Moto2. And Marc Marquez, as we know, world champion all throughout. Let's go down though, trackside with Dynamite.
Just coming through, favourite for this weekend, but it's this corner. I'm almost certain that it's going to have a decision in some way of the outcome of the race because it's just a great last sector. Whoever designed it was Dromo, Jano Zaffelli and co. He just knew that what they were doing because you've got these fast corners, 10, 11 left-handers, 12 is right, 4th gear, and then you drop down into 2nd. And you've got to pull it back to the apex. But the racing line, the natural racing line that you might use in qualifying is going to leave the door wide open. And we have seen so many clashes here over the years. Think back to the Ducatis, Iannone Dovizioso crashing out here. That was back in 2016. 2018, you think of that race, Marc Marquez, the wild man on that day. He collided with Aleix Espargaro right here at the apex, firing it in, trying to make that move we've been talking about. Valentino Rossi was put out onto the grass. 30-second penalty, the rest is history. So this is where the action will happen in the race. Who's going to be challenging Marc Marquez at the front? He is the favourite after all. It could well be Marco Bezzecchi because if you think he's on the Aprilia, Aleix Espargaro showed the pace around the fast corners. The flow of this racetrack really suits that Aprilia. And Bezzecchi won last time we came in 2023 when he was on the Ducati. So maybe it could be the Italian that challenges the Marquez hegemony here in Argentina this weekend. But this corner, I'm sure, will have a say in the outcome.
Thank you, Gavin. As we take a look at Marc Marquez, or according to that driver tracker there, Marc Marquez. Don't know what that was all about with the graphic there from MotoGP. It was a bit of a surprise. I think our systems are back up and running, despite having a big screen for Richie once again.
Oh, is it back on my screen
It was for a second, yeah. Don't know who's messed about with my MotoGP OBS software, but it's wasn't the easiest to get done. 6 minutes to go then.
Indeed, and Marquez is up by a couple of tenths in the 3rd sector, so we'll see what Marquez can do here. Of course, it would be nice to get into 38, so he needs to find around a 10th in that final part of the lap.
So just keeping an eye with Marquez over that line now. And it's a 1:38.937, fastest by half a second, 0.448. That is insane for Marc. That's on old soft front and medium rears, 13 laps apiece they've done. So yeah, they've definitely got time to find.
Yes, they certainly have, as you consider two teammates rather differing in pace at the moment. Bagnaia down in P16, a couple of seconds off, and back in the pit lane. So I don't think we'll see Bagnaia go out again in this session, as Marquez on a lap, same as Bezzecchi, as well as Alex Marquez jumps up into P4 there. is a nice improvement. So there we are.
We'll all get a chance to do
Quite
practice
second.
starts. Yeah, we'll all get a chance to do practice starts, but yeah, you're right, we're not going to see him. Oh, never mind, he's going back out. That's a surprise to waste a set of tyres. I'm shocked about that, actually. I would have thought he would have left it for a bit, because it's a long lap here, 1 minute 38, and lap at 2 minutes, so why waste a set of tyres on data on a track that is a representative? Big save from Marc Marquez, my goodness me! Coming through the dip at turn 7, 8 and 9. Big snap at the front, and only Marc Marquez could have saved that. The alien he is. Checks out the bike's okay. Watch this at full motion. Comes in, bike coming in low on the low left-hand side. Hits the curb, knee goes down. The slider gets caught on the grip and just nearly drops it. Look at this, Richie. Wow.
Insane there by Marquez. Somehow saving that. Oh my. I mean, surely if it was anybody else, they'd be down and buried with that one, because it's not an easy one to save, is it? As we do see the onboard here, the helmet. Or at least looking back at him. Whew.
The adrenaline spiked in me there. Don't know about what's coming like for him on the bike. That's mad for Mark. That proves he's back to me. 100%. If he could save that. Only lost a 10th.
Oh dear me. How he's done that. Oof. Indeed very nice. As that was Marquez, Alex Marquez jumping up into P3 there. Improving once again on his latest run, as Bastianini as well finding an improvement up to P20. And then we do see Bsky as well crossing the line, and I think also finding an improvement on his latest run as someone got a bit deep at turn 1. Can't quite see who it was. There was 2 of them actually.
And that was, one of them was Maverick, the other Somcat Chantra, the Thai rider coming through. Is that Lorenzo Salvador? It was one of the Aprilias that went off. I can't tell you which one it is.
Being as Martin's not here, Lorenzo Salvadori, will he be leaving once Martin comes back?
Yes, Salvador is the test rider. So as soon
and where does he come from? Is he one of the Moto2 champions or something?
He's been around for a while. I think he's coming from Multi Bikes. He was here as well in Moto2. But
he's not done a Luca Badoa then.
No, he's not done a Luca Badoa, but he is an older rider. I must point out for Lorenzo Salvadori as well. Let's just give you his stats on our monitors up here. 31 years old from Italy, raced 31 times in the 125cc category. Started at Mugello, Italy in 2008. Made his debut at the European Grand Prix in 2020, and he's run now he's 31 races in the Premier Class for Salvadori. Very much is the wild card entry to help out the team. Test rider is basically the super sub. Imagine Nico Hulkenberg when he was debutanized.
Yes. Yeah. Indeed, as Okura there finding an improvement, Bastianini as well, and I think there was also Marini as well finding an improvement. Vinales as well up to P7 here. So a couple of interesting laps coming in towards the end of the session. Marc Marquez, of course, tops it at the moment by 0.4 of a second to Johan Zarco and then Alex Marquez. And I don't want to say if I'm wrong, but if I'm correct, it's Marquez and Marquez are brothers, aren't they?
They are, I did, yeah.
I didn't want to get it wrong because then stupid, so I thought I'd ask first.
To be fair, I've made a similar mistake before. We had Raul Fernandez last year with Augusto Fernandez, and they're both a couple of years difference between them. Both got the same last name, both from the same town in Spain, both went to the same school in Spain. So I thought, oh, they're brothers. And
they're
then
not.
Julia corrected me in one of the races. They're not related at all. Same name, same hometown, same school, 2 years difference. They are not related. I could not believe it when Julia told me that.
That's interesting. That is interesting indeed. Oh, dear me.
MotoGP really has just been about brothers. Marc Marquez, Alex Marquez, Brad Binder, Darren Binder, Raul Fernandez, Valentino Rossi and Luca Marini, they're brothers coming.
Really?
Well. Yeah, Marini's same mother.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Christmas
didn't know
dinner
that
is
one.
a bit awkward, however, because Luca Marini said, "Sorry, big bro, I don't want to ride for your team. I'm going off to Honda," and he's gone on ridden there, which is fair because back in the day, Valentino Rossi and Honda were a force to be reckoned with.
Indeed. There we go. Checkered flag.
wow,
As
that's
that will
nice.
be Mia finding an improvement, and well, there we go.
Yeah, thanks, Sean, reminding me. The Espargo brothers, Paul Espargo and Alicia Espargo as well. Alicia now retired, but will be coming back for some wildcard races, and so will
Really?
Paul. Yeah.
So, how do wildcard races work then?
The team
Does the
enter
team just-
a third bike and you can come race, yeah.
A third bike, so there'll be 23 drivers.
Oh, we go up. We've had 27 at one point, yeah. Each team
So
is allowed 3 bikes.
And wait, so why do they only use 2 then? Why don't they just use 3 to help them with the championship?
Because you have to have... Oh, there's Mark waving. It's 2 bikes mandatory, option of a third, if you're... but not at every race. So you get,
Oh,
you get
right.
yeah, you get a wild card appearance. That's what it's called, a wild card.
Oh.
So
See, I'm learning a lot
Yeah.
here.
Plus-
I'm learning quite a lot. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in Formula 1.
the only time a wildcard rider's really disrupted was when Danny Pedrosa came back for the KTM team last year and got 4th.
Really?
In Jerez. Yeah.
Oh, my.
But yeah, the wildcard, they're most, as Sean says, they're mostly veterans, but we can have a few rookies
Has Rossi
in
ever
there
done
too.
it then?
Rossi's never come back to do a wildcard now.
Oh. Will he ever come back, or
No,
is he just
he's
focused
done.
on his GC racing?
Valet's done with motorcycle racing.
Fair enough.
He's owning his team and he's doing GT racing, and I think his wife would kill him.
Oh.
He was nearly injured when he left here. Well, shocker. Marc Marquez fastest in first practice. Times don't mean anything, of course. It's this afternoon, that's the big one. 1:38.938. Not bad then. That's Mark waving to the crowd. But yeah, we often have 25, 26. They can all fluctuate. Like Ducati often bring Mikel Pirro in for the Italian races. And I think the Spanish round as well. Basically, the tracks that they know they can get a couple extra points at. Because points, of course, go down to 15 in MotoGP in the main race and down to 9 in the Tissot Sprint. Not bad then. Okay, representative, I think, for Mark, but the track is wildly disproportionate, what we're going to see later.
Certainly. It certainly is.
Lizzie Whitmore will be joining us in the booth, hopefully this weekend. She's in Devon at the moment. Maddie is celebrating St Patrick's Day.
Oh, is that today?
It's this weekend. I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, right.
And Julia is at, I believe, Portimao for the World Superbike test.
Oh, nice.
Simon's obviously...
Oh, 'cause she's the
trackside.
rider, isn't she?
Julia. No, that Lizzie Whitmore's
No.
the rider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's in Devon. She's actually near
Oh.
Jess. She's just going to use Jess's setup, but doing that. Going to try and get her into this commentary box in person for the British Grand Prix, unless she actually goes.
I mean,
Oh, Alex has got a bit close there to Bezecchi. And did he apologise? I think he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, like, what are you going to do? That's nice, at least, that they're laughing about it.
when's the British Grand Prix this season for? MotoGP?
Same day as the Indy 500 and the Monaco Grand Prix.
Oh my, poor
Yeah.
you, Josh.
Poor me, yeah. I don't get
Oh,
to do
dear
F2
me.
or F3 again.
I mean, if you ask me, I think that's stupid, isn't it? Putting Indy 500, Monaco, and MotoGP putting together. That is stupid.
Well, it's stupid putting the British Grand Prix in May.
Why?
Because it's going to be raining and everything. It's not going to be great.
Yeah.
It's literally
No
the
England
worst idea. Yeah. And it's up first as well. They've moved it around so it doesn't clash with F1 or... yeah, so I think the British Grand Prix is at 12.
Oof, that is early.
Yeah, not good at all. I think it's Moto 3.
We're still
then
due on the
MotoGP.
grass.
Yeah. I missed the Moto 2 race, I believe, that one, so that one won't be live. Practice starts now coming into play here. So the riders will get to go out on the circuit. They'll be able to do 2 starts on the grid in this session. So they'll just be able to line up and we get to see who's hot and who's not in the overall mix of things here. Sometimes good, sometimes bad in many respects as to what could happen here.
So do they do a lap, start, a lap, then a start?
Yes. Okay, I've now found out what has caused the problem on our timing screen. It's all gone higgledy-piggledy.
Why? What have you done?
I haven't done anything, it's them.
Oh.
They got it wrong. I was wondering why I was having problems. There we go. So let's just get that sorted. There we go. Finally. Proper data for when we go off air. There we go. I was wondering what was going on with it. So if I press that goes away and that goes there. Yeah. Okay, got it. Perfect. Yeah, excellent. There's the full session results then. As they'll come up to the grid. What are you up to the rest of the day then? It's only 2:30. We all feel like knackered.
Nothing. Nothing to do for the rest of the day.
Sleep
Get
then.
ready for, yes, sleep and then get ready for a Formula 1 later on this evening. I believe we've got Formula 3, haven't we, at just
after
past
midnight.
the hour. Yeah, so I'll be there for that, I believe, and then it'll be off to sleep, back up for qualifying, and then back to sleep.
Are you in the box with us for quali?
Not for quali, no,
Oh.
unfortunately. But I will be for some of the European ones. It's just I don't want to be getting on the PC at 5 AM.
Fair point. If you want to sit in the back of the box and watch, feel more than welcome to.
Might do, we'll see. I'll see how I feel in the morning.
I think JT's even trying to get some timing screens spliced in. Yeah, so we can use it like that. As the practice starts on the grid then, don't have to be in the grid slots, so you just be on the grid. It's important to get the data for this section of the tarmac as well. And the practice start zone is a bit irrelevant. So we have these dedicated sessions at the end of opening practice. Chance for everyone to get out there. And the only good thing is, unless you crash and have a severe accident, you've got another bike. So you can always take part in the practice start. Apart from Moto 2 and Moto 3, you don't get that, of course, to come in. So nice to hear, actually, Susie Perry is back here in Argentina. Hasn't been able to come since 2019 due to a dengue fever. When she contracted it and nearly died. She's had the vaccination now, though, so she's okay to come back.
That's good to hear.
Let's have a look at Marc Marquez. Look at the ride height device. The bike just lowering down to the ground. It becomes almost like a land speed record bike. It's completely aerodynamic. Pull the throttle back and away, and it's botting him out on the ground. My goodness me, that ride height device is physically touching the ground before it comes back up into the breakers of a turn 1. Very tricky here, the ride height device, because the first corner comes up so quickly. You've got to get it re-engaged upwards. There's a lot to do at the start.
There certainly is, as here's Pekka Bagnaia.
I think he's going to fluff it.
Oh.
Yeah. The front twitched away from him on the launch. That's that ride height device not working at all. Watch it from on board. Yeah, pulls the throttle back, and as soon as he does it, select first gear, it doesn't want to select, so not great there, unfortunately. Davide Tardozzi watching on as Marc Marquez comes round for his second start of the session. And the good thing is, with a load of people around him, he gets a good idea of what the start's going to be like. So, to talk you through a MotoGP start, select the ride height device, bike lowers down to sort of drag speed level. You pull the throttle back, you build it up to just about the rev zone as well, let it pop a few times, get the clutch by point, release the clutch, pull the throttle back, and don't let the bike wheelie up. Then also reset under braking the ride height device to come up, all while braking for the first corner and trying not to crash into 22 other riders. It is so chaotic, this start. Honda's ride height device looking quite well as well.
I mean, watching it, it's like the bike hits the floor, doesn't it, as
Yeah.
well under the start? Oh
They-
my, that is interesting.
Here's Ferdinand de Geer and his start. Watch the ride height device on the Grassini from last year. Ducati go back down. And away he goes. And then that bike will slowly, the midsection, lift back up into the braking zone. As we now look at Pecco Bagnaia. Let's see, does he fluff this start at least? Is he going to get it okay? So watch, the bike goes down, Richie. Do you see it lowering?
Yeah.
He'll select the gears. Got it into the start zone. Oh, Marc Marquez is taking a start too. Well, watch Mark's then. Very good launch from him.
Ooh, bit of wheel in the air though, his front wheel, but
That'll be
bit of
tuned.
wheeling.
Oh, stoppy, big stoppy for Morbidelli. He's not happy with the way that ride height. He's trying to reset the ride height device
Oh.
on the GP24. Yeah, that ride height device not working, so he's trying to roll forward and he's had to abandon it. The ride height device not working. He's looking back to see, well, why didn't that work? The bike's stuck
So
up.
you need the ride height device
Yes. Yeah. Well, some teams have it, some teams don't. Majority do have it now.
on?
And it's just, what it does is it streamlines the bike for the maximum start. So it's like launch control, effectively. But it's a very good run. Okay, everyone back into the pits. They've done their starts. Session concluded with the checkered flag out as well. Marc Marquez tops from Johan Zarco, Alex Marquez, Franco Morbidelli, Marco Bezzecchi, Luca Marini, Jack Miller, Maverick Vinales, Juan Mir and Pedro Acosta in the top 10. Brad Binder, Alex Rins, Fabio Quartararo, Fabio Di Antonio, Aya Gurov, Pecco Bagnaia, Ferdinand de Geer, Miguel Oliveira, Somkat Chantra, Ralph Fernandez, and Bashni, and Lorenzo Salvadori. Richie, what have you made of this session then?
It's been quite interesting. I've learnt quite a lot here as a newer fan to MotoGP. And it's been really nice to see the bikes on track. And I'm still hoping, though, for Marc Marquez to take it to a victory. And, of course, take it to pole position as well.
We'll have to drag you back for a full weekend at some point as well.
Yes,
And
definitely.
That'd be fun. Thank you, Richie. Thank you to everybody on JB2 and to Twitch. If you're watching us on Premiere on JB Motorsports immediately after this, we're live all weekend on the second channel up until Sunday, and then we are live on the main channel. All streams are set up on both, so you can always get notifications of when we are. Thanks for your company, Richie. Thanks to you at home as well, and we'll see you later on for the timed 60-minute practice session. Bye-bye.